So the steps for installation and configuration of business approval kit is listed below. Now, if you download the solution, you will see two components. There are two managed component, business approval kit managed and Office 365 integration managed. So first what you need to do is like install Office 365 integration managed solution. So you import this solution, okay? So you import it. Then what you do is you create an app registration, Microsoft Graph Mailbox setting. Then you import the second solution, Business Approval Kit. So you import this solution and then you create an app registration approval kit. So there are four steps involved in it to install and configure the solution. Now, once you download the solution Business Approval Kit from the GitHub site, you will get two solution, Office 365 integration and Business Approval Kit. Office 365 integration is the first solution you need to import. Let's navigate to the Power Platform environment. So go to make.powerapps.com, select the right environment. So my environment name is Kit. Click on Import Solution, click on Browse, and select the Office 365 Integration Managed Solution. Click on Open, click on Next, click on Import. Now the importing of the solution Office 365 integration is currently happening. Now, if you closely read the documentation, what it says is prerequisite is import Office 365 integration solution first, which we are doing, and set up new Microsoft Graph Mailbox setting custom connector before importing latest business approval kit solution. So what we are going to do, we are going to create an app registration. Where to create an app registration? In Azure, portal.azure.com. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just do a side by side window so that we can open this particular portal.azure.com windows over here. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is either I can open it in sidebar, or maybe I'll just open just side by side. So let me open this in sidebar and show it to you. Say open in sidebar. So this is how the sidebar will look like. Okay. So let me go into this and let me put it over here. And I'll just do a, instead of doing a sidebar, I'll do a split screen. So I'll do a split screen and I'll open Azure side by side over here. So on the right hand side, I have Azure website, and on the left hand side, the instructions. So let's go into the instruction and read it. Create an app registration. So in order to create app registration, you need to navigate to portal.azure.com, and then from there, click on Enter ID. From Enter ID, click on App Registration. And from here, you can click on New Registration. So let's click on New Registration. Once you click on New Registration, give some name. So create a new app registration for Microsoft Graph Mailbox setting. So I'll just copy this Microsoft Graph Mailbox setting and I'll add my environment name. My environment name is Kit. So just to identify what are you doing, so I'll just add this as a name. So Kit hyphen Microsoft Graph Mailbox setting, account in this organization directory, redirect URI. Don't put anything over there. Click on register. Now it is going to create an app registration for you. Now what it says, like, go to API permission. So let's go to API permission, add a permission, Microsoft Graph. So click on add a permission, and here you select Microsoft Graph as instructed. So if I just scroll down, I should be able to see Microsoft Graph. But if I'm not able to see Microsoft Graph, then you can just either search it, but here it's rightly available in the first option itself, Microsoft Graph. If I click on Microsoft Graph, it's select permission type as app permission. So I'll click on application permission, search mailbox settings. So if I search for mailbox settings, then I get mailbox settings. Click here, and we just want the read API permission. So I'll just click on read API. Click on add permission. Once you're done, click on grant admin consent. So I'm going to grant admin consent. Click on yes. Now, what we need to do, we need to create a new secret, certificate and secret, which is an important step over here. So, in order to do that, I'll go to certificates and secrets. I'll click on new client secret. I'll make this secret last for like maybe 2 years, and I'll put some secret. So, secret name. So that's get um, mailbox. Click on add, and a secret is generated now. Now this is the secret. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this secret and put it in my notepad. So that's my secret. Now we need to keep it handy, so I'll just keep this handy. Also, if I navigate to overview, I can find the client ID. So I'll just copy the client ID or the application ID, and I'll make a note of it. Then I have a tenant ID, so I'll make a note of the tenant ID as well. And that's it. So again, if you read the instruction, it says note on the client ID, client secret, and tenant ID, which we have done. And now update the Microsoft Graph Mailbox setting custom connector. Okay. Now that's what is the instruction. So let's leave this over here for time being. So we have executed all the step over here. And now we will going to update the Microsoft Graph Mailbox setting custom connector. Right. In order to do that, first you need to navigate and find out what's happening with the solution. So if you see here, the instruction is Office 365 integration solution has been imported successfully. And from from the solution perspective, what we can do, we can, if you read closely over here, what it says is like, let me click here and say exit split screen view. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a split screen with this Power Apps solution over here. So this is the Office 365 integration solution which we just installed. And here you will have custom connectors, right? So let's go into custom connectors. So it will load the custom connector for the solution which we have installed, which is called as Microsoft Graph Mailbox setting. And here it says go to the security tab, click edit. So first click on edit over here. Let me minimize this a bit. Yep. So here what it says is go to the security tab. So let me go into the security tab and select authentication type as OAuth 2.0, which is here, right? OAuth 2.0. So and edit authentication type as OAuth 2. So if I click on edit, then it says select Azure Active Directory as a identity provider. So here I need to select Azure Active Directory. Check enable service principal support. Yes, I did that. Let's see, enter the client ID and secret. So client ID and secret we just copied. So let's say client ID is this one. So I'm gonna copy the client ID and paste it over here. Then I'm gonna copy the secret. I'm gonna paste it over here. Okay, click update connector to save the changes. So here everything is good. Let me click on update connector, which is the tick bar. Click on tick mark, and it has saved the setting. Now it will give you a redirect URL. So redirect URL will be given after the setting gets saved. What we need to do, we need to go into the back to the app registration and then add that URL. So let's copy the redirect URL. This is the redirect URL. Let me copy this, and in portal.azure.com against that current app registration, the instruction is very clear. It says go to the app registration, add a platform web, and copy the redirect URI. So this is the app registration which we have created. And here under API permission, we have created the API permission name, we have granted the consent. Under certificates and secrets, we have added the certificates, means the secrets. Under authentication, here we have selected accounts in this organization directory. Now under platform configuration, I just need to add a platform and select web. Once I select web, paste the redirect URI and click on configure. Now as you see over here, it says configure to save the redirect URI. And then once that is done, again come back to the screen and create the new connection. Now, how do you do that? After adding the redirect URL, go to the graph mailbox setting custom connector, navigate to the test tab. So let's see whether the changes are there. Yes, changes are there. So go over here, go to the test tab, and once you're in the test tab, under selected connection here, you will see none. Click on new connection. It will create a new connection from this custom connector. And then from there, choose service principal connection as a connection type. So let me scroll this up. So we are here, we are doing this step. Navigate to the test tab, select new connection, create a connection, service principal connection, enter the client ID and secret and tenant ID. So let's go to the notepad, copy the client ID, copy the secret, and copy the tenant ID. Once that is done, click on create. So it will create a connection. And once you do this, so we have just completed this part. So it will have this connection created over here. Refresh the connection. If the connection does not show, it is showing for us. Let's test it. Now in the test tab, go to get user automatic reply settings. Okay. So if you see here, this is the connection which we have just created. Again, going back to custom connectors, click on edit, and then here click on test. And then in the test, it says select the operation you want to test. For example, get user automatic reply settings. So here, get automatic user reply settings. Enter any user's UPN principal name present in the tenant. So if we put any user's UPN name, so it takes example, if I just put Girish Uppal at 0kmlk dot on microsoft.com and click on test, and it has given me a status as 200. So what it has done is basically it's verified the functionality. So after setting up the Microsoft Graph Mailbox setting, in order to use and retrieve OOF settings, you need to just select yes on import of business approval kit solution. So that's what we need to do. So what we have done, we have just tested Microsoft Graph Mailbox setting. Now the next step is go back to your Power Apps, go to the solution, and let's do one thing. Let's go into import solution and then now try importing the business approval kit. Click on business approval kit, click on next. It will start looking for any dependency. Now there is no issue with the dependency. It will allow you to install the solution. Click on next. And it says connection. Now for connection needs to be updated. So business approval kit. So we need to actually sign in. So let me click on sign in. Now if you see over here, the bottom three are connected. So for this, okay, it is also connected now. Now once all this are set, you just click on next. If it doesn't show green mark over here, then you need to actually sign in, and then once that is signed in, it will turn green. Click on next. Now environment variables, enable Office 365 mailbox settings. So activate this feature by setting it to yes to retrieve out of the box and working hours. So I'll say if you want to use the out of office setting from Office 365, you click on yes. Out of office check days, this variable will hold the difference in days permitted between users out of the box end date and the current date. So I'll just keep it 0. and then you need to put the instance URL of the approval kit to connect to. So currently I do not have anything, so I'll just keep it as it is and click on import. Now this solution will get imported. So currently importing solution business approval kit. So as you see over here, the solution business approval kit has been imported successfully, but with some warnings. Now, as we read through the instruction says that if you're upgrading from the previous month release, but we are not upgrading from the previous month release. However, we need to configure some settings. So open the Power Automate portal, or maybe you can open just the Power Apps portal itself. Here you can click on custom connectors, and here you will find out the approvals kit custom connector. Now here in the approval kit custom connector, if I just click on edit, then I need to set some values over here. Okay, now for me, I just need to configure some values over here. So it says select the environment you have created the approvals kit in. So I'm in the right environment, I'm in the kits environment, and it's asking me to click on the security tab. So if I click on the security tab, under edit the OAuth 2.0 settings, paste in a client secret and client ID. Now, as I mentioned to you, there are two app registrations we need to create. The first one, which we created, was for Mailbox. The second one, which we need to create, is for setting up the business approvals, the registration kit. So, in the documentation over here, it says, oh, create an app registration. So I'm going to share you this link as well. So for setting up business approval template, you need to set up the app registration. Now the app registration which we are going to create, so let's go into portal.azure.com and create another app registration. So I'll just create a new app registration. I'll just say kit, and I'll say approvals kit. So kit is just an environment, and kit is just for the application which I'm creating, this app registration. Now this is a very simple process. You need not do anything fancy over here, unlike the mailbox settings. So just click on register. Now it is registering the approvals kit app registration. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to store this value. So first one, it was for mailbox settings, and second one is for approvals kit. Now again, I need to find out the client ID, the secret, and the tenant ID. Now tenant ID is the same, so I need not copy that, but I need to have the client ID and the secret. Now in order to get the client ID and secret, what you need to do is go over here. You got the client ID, so I'll just copy the client ID and secret. We need to generate the secret. So what you need to do is, before you even set this up, first you need to set up the API permission. So API permission, add a permission, choose dynamic CRM, right? So go over here, API permission, add permission, and we need to select dynamic CRM. So dynamic CRM, and it is a delegated permission. Get the user impersonation, add permission. Once you do that, click on grant admin consent, and that's it. So over here, you see delegated permission, select user impersonation, add permission, and your app registration, you have given the admin consent. You need to create the secret. So let's go over here, certificates and secrets, add a secret, put any name for the secret, and I'll just put 2 years for the expiring. Copy the secret over here, copy the value, paste it in your notepad, because this you're going to need it. So this is the secret which I have copied. So let me just confirm. Yeah. Now here I've copied this. Now what we need to do, we need to update the approvals kit with a custom connector. So this is that same instruction which we were reading over here. So what you need to do is, let me go back. Let me go to the custom connectors. So let me click outside. Let me go to the custom connector which is available for approval kit. Let me click on edit, and here what you need to do is put the host name first under the general tab. Now the host name does not have a protocol in it, so you just need to have kit.crm.dynamics.com. So we put that over here. Then you go to security. Then here under security, click on edit OAuth 2.0. That's what the documentation says. Select authentication type as OAuth 2.0 and then enter the client ID and the secret. So, and then you need to specify the resource URL as well. So go into the application, get the client ID. So the client ID which we have saved over here, we copy this and put a client secret. So this is the secret. Paste the secret, and under resource URL, you just copy this entire URL, kit.crm.dynamics.com, which I've already done that. So it's here. Once you're done with this, just click on update connector. Now, once you click on update connector, it will start updating the connector. You need to copy the resource URL, the redirect URL rather, and copy that into the app registration. So I'll just show you from where to copy that. So now the custom connector has been successfully updated. Here you will find the redirect URL. Just copy this, go to your app registration. Under authentication, click on add a platform, click on web, redirect URL, configure, and it is now updated. Let me go back here, go to test, and when you see the test, you will see the second option, get published workflows. Here you can test this operation, but in order to test that, you need to first establish a connection. I'll click on new connection, create connection for the approvals kit. Now this connection is established. Now once this connection is established, you will see the connection over here. Again, go back to the custom connector, click on edit, and navigate to the test tab. Click on the second option, get published workflows. Click on test operation, and now you will see the status is 200. So that means you have established a connection successfully. All good. This is how you basically configure both the app registration once you start installing and configuring the business approval kit. So that's it, folks. This is all about installation and configuration of the business approval kit.